Welcome back to the Python tutorial series. I'm so glad you're here. This is the 42nd video in the series, and today we will go over how to use bar graphs in Python. We will first go over how to write code to make a simple bar graph, then we will make a stacked bar graph. So let's get started. I created a new file called bargraph.py and imported matplotlib.pyplot. If you don't have matplotlib already installed, you can use the command pip install myplotlib. I'm going to create a variable called x, and this will store the labels on the x-axis, and it will create 3 bars called Java, JavaScript, and Python. Their associated heights will be 100, 200, and 300. I'm gonna then plot a bar, and x will be the x-axis, h will be the height, so how high it goes on the y-axis. The width will be 0.5, and I'm gonna align it to the center. And it's already aligned to the center by default, but I'll put that there for now. Then I'm gonna do plot.x label, computer language, plot.y label, value, and finally I'm going to title it sample bar graph. And in order for this to show anything, I have to do plot.show. And now when I run this should work. And there you go. We have a bar graph with Java, JavaScript, and Python. Now let's go back to the code to make some changes. I'm going to make them all have a different color. So I'm going to do color equal to green, red, and blue. And then I'm going to set color equal to C because that's what we defined above. Now when I run it, they all have a different color. Instead of aligning it to the center, I could align it to the edge. And I'll place align with edge, and this will align it to the left hand side. So you see down here Java's on the left, JavaScript's on the left, and Python's on the left, as opposed to the center. Well, what if I wanted to align it to the right? I could do this by creating a negative width. So width equals negative 0.5. And when I run this, you see that it's now aligned to the right. You also see that the bottom of the graph starts at 0. Well, what if I didn't want to start at 0? I'll create a variable called b and set that equal to 10, 20, and 30. And then I'll do bottom equal to b. Now when I run this, you'll see that the bottom is different for each one. Java now starts at 10 and goes to 110, JavaScript 20 to 220, and Python 30 to 330. I can also outline the bars in a different color. I can do this by setting the line width equal to 4 and the edge color equal to black. Now when I run this should outline the bars in black, and it does. So there we go. Now that we know how to make bar graphs, let's make stacked bar graphs. I created a file called stackbargraphs.py and imported matplotlib just like before. I'm gonna group the bars along the x-axis by the sample, so I'll just set sample equal to 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll be sampling how many people have Windows and how many people have Macs. Once I do that, I will plot the bars separately. My x-axis will be sample, my height will be Windows, and my width will be 0.5, and then I'm going to create a label equal to Windows. For the second one, I'm going to have x be sample, the height be max, the width be 0.5, but this time I don't want to start at 0, so I'll set bottom equal to Windows. This is why I introduced bottom before, and then I'll label it max. Then I will name my labels and title accordingly. This time, since I have 2 variables that I'm plotting, Windows and Macs, I'm going to want to show a legend. So I'll do plot.legend, and finally I'll do plot.show, and now it should display when we run this. And there we have it. You can now see the number of Windows and the number of Macs. And that's how you create a stacked bar graph in Python. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow along with this video series by subscribing and hitting the notification bell, or by clicking on the next video so that you can expand your knowledge about Python. And as always, I can't wait to see you
next time.